Appropriately known as Diane Baker's husband. He's a guy who leads by example. He rides, he and Diane ride a lot together. Every pit stop that he's come to at the NIH, he's been riding to. We're really fortunate to have that leadership by example, and I'd like to go ahead and welcome Dr. Collins to make a few comments.
So thank you and good morning. Could you ask for a more beautiful day than this for Bike to Work Day? It is spectacular. Diane and I rode about 4 miles from our house, which is sort of halfway between Chevy Chase and Silver Spring. And we are so lucky to be in this town, and thank you to the council because we have all these bike paths. It's possible to ride and be safe. We rode the Georgetown Branch Trail and then came through some side streets that Peter Chines taught me one time in order to actually get to NIH without ever being in any situation where there's a lot of traffic, and that is just great. And gosh, we have found, and we were kind of encouraged by Bike to Work Day to get more involved in biking. On the weekends now we often do this loop that goes down Rock Creek and then down to the waterfront and then back around on the Capitol Crescent. That's about 22 miles, something like that. And on a nice day, a day like this, you can't imagine a better way to spend a couple hours than that. So it's great to see everybody has turned out here, and it's great that NIH, because we are the National Institutes of Health, is representing health in our own personal behavior. And I'm just delighted to see all of you. And I want to thank particularly those who organize this effort every year, because it is not trivial to put all these plans together. Can we give a round of applause for all the organizers and the people manning the tables? Way to go, guys. And I hope everybody will enjoy the experience. Pick up a t-shirt, a water bottle, get your bike checked out, anything else that you want to do out here. And eventually, I guess, we'll all have to go to work. But it's nice to have a little distraction on a beautiful Friday morning. It is a great privilege to be your director, to work in a place that has such a noble enterprise as this one, and to be able to get together both to celebrate what we do in terms of our jobs, trying to advance medical research, but also to be friends and colleagues on a morning like this. So thank you all. Ride safe.
I'm Jonathan Mazzal, and I'm with the NIH Bike Club, and I was part of organizing this Bike Work Day event. It's my first year coming, actually, but it's really been amazing. I've really enjoyed all the different ways that we advocate for biking. We have the bike blender, we have the bike generated music, Dr. Collins is speaking, we had Councilmember Riemer also speaking about bike advocacy. It's really amazing. Maryland's a really bike-friendly place, and I think there's a lot more we can do to make it more bike-friendly. But Rock Creek Park's beautiful.
So what part of NIH do you work in?
I work in NHLBI, in the cardiovascular interventional pulmonary branch.
Is that intramural?
That is intramural.
Yeah. And where do you ride from?
Right from Silver Spring. Yep, from the downtownish area, Summit Hills.
And how do you get here? What route do you take?
Pretty much, I'm newer to town. I need to learn a better route, but we come pretty much down the Jones Bridge, which is a little risky. But what I need to do is go over to the table and get some of the maps to look for the better routes, because I know there's better routes available. It used to be here in Bethesda, which was a really easy route over, just coming in through the south gate. And that's one thing that I love about campus, is that there's multiple entrances, and bike-friendly entrances as well. And I know DATS does a lot of stuff as well, Department of Transportation for subsidies for bicycles. So NIH is a really bike-friendly campus.
So why do you ride?
I ride because first you need to exercise, get some fresh air, to get the juices flowing in the morning. Just to kind of be one out in nature, just use my body that I was given, because I love it.
Steve Friedman.
Okay, and tell me about your ride.
So I live in Chevy Chase, and I've now, with the National Cancer Institute, and we've moved from Executive Boulevard up to the new Shady Grove campus. So my ride is about 12.5 miles each way. A little bit of climbing, but otherwise it's a very beautiful ride, and on a day like today it's even better. So it's a little bit of work, but it's a great opportunity to be able to ride back and forth to work each day.
So what do you ride? What kind of bike do you ride?
I have a Trek Cross Rip Elite. It's a cyclocross bike, and I put on semi-slick tires to help me go a little bit faster. And I've got Shimano Ultegra on there, so I have a good amount of gears to play with. Shady Grove, yeah, we've just moved up there. So we moved about a month ago, and the last few weeks, obviously with the riding, you get more familiar with the route and you find the best way to go. I'm actually really fortunate that part of my route takes me on the Carl Henn Millennium Trail. So having known Carl professionally through the NIH, and obviously through his work through the bike club, with his untimely and unfortunate passing, I think his legacy is really notarized in this manner, and to be able to ride on a trail that bears his name, I think is a testament to that legacy. And it's, I think, a great reminder to us all about our contributions to the environment, to ourselves. We're able to bike to work, and that's a reminder that I see daily when I see his name on those signs.
And why do you ride?
Oh, for a lot of reasons. I ride for myself, I ride for the environment, I ride for my kids, I ride for the joy of it.
I'm Ellen Condon.
And where'd you ride in from?
Silver Spring.
How far back in Silver Spring?
I think it's about 6.5 to 7 miles, one way.
Wow. And what route do you take?
I take Forest Glen for the most part, and then down through Beach and up Cedar Lane, which is a good size hill, and then I'm here.
And tell me, where do you work?
I work for the Institute of Mental Health.
And what do you do there?
I am an MRI technologist, and I assist the NMR Center as a shared resource in performing the MRI scans for their subjects and patients.
Okay, so now you're riding an unusual bike today.
Yes, I am.
Tell us about this.
This is a battery assist bike, commonly known as an e-bike. It's 36 volt, and it's wonderful up hills, but you are cheating.
Do you feel guilty?
Yes.
You do?
Very much.
You feel guilty?
Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I'm going back to my regular Schwinn because it's a better workout. And yeah, but this is great, because a lot of times I'm leaving late at night, and it kind of gets me home faster, and I feel like I can get out of the way faster if something comes up, but it's purely for safety at night.
And the motor?
The motor is in the rear hub there, and it's pretty quiet.
And how fast does this go?
Well, they say 20 miles an hour, but I'll be honest with you, it's even at 20 miles, that's just way too fast. So I go a lot slower than most people.
Augie, Diana.
Yeah, and where do you work?
I work at NIDA, so off one of the satellite campuses of NIH.
Okay. And where do you ride from?
I ride from Kensington.
And how many miles is that?
It's about 5 to work.
And what route do you take?
Mostly I go through There's a little bike trail up Strathmore that I can get to off of some back roads, and then there's a road that's parallel to Strathmore for a short part of the way that's a bike route. And then I do a diagonal cut through over to Rockville Pike, and then I get on where the trail that comes from Bethesda, where it ends on some of those back roads. And head
So
up
why do you ride?
Well, I love to ride. I hate traffic. I'm not a big fan of cars, and it takes me the same amount of time to ride as it would to drive and park.
And does your car get enough exercise?
My car is pretty lonely on the street. It's used more by my neighbors than it is by me. Yeah.
All right, so what are you riding today?
I'm riding a flat bar road bike, Redline. This is my better bike.
This is your better bike?
Yeah, I have some other ones that are fat tire and slow. This one's a little fast.
Roger Kurlander,
Okay, and where do you work at NIH?
Clinical Center, Department of Laboratory Medicine.
Okay, and where do you ride from?
I'm not very far away. Actually, near Bill, in Hillmead, so about a mile and a half.
And do you always ride this rig here?
What's that?
Do you always ride a recumbent?
Yeah. I have about 3 or 4 of them.
And so tell me about this. Tell me about this bike.
Well, I originally got it because of an injury. I didn't like bike seats very much. And I'm a very serious biker, so I bike longer distances. And it's much more comfortable for that sort of for long rides. You don't get sore arms, don't get sore neck, and your body position allows you to look forward without, in a neutral fashion. So it doesn't climb hills quite as well, but it marks you as a bit of an eccentric.
And so why do you ride?
Why do I ride?
Yeah.
I've always ridden. I've ridden since I was 12. And I'm always been very physically active, so it's a very nice outlet. It conserves knees and hips better than running. It's a different type of activity.
So you're talking about taking a long ride?
Yeah.
So where are you going to go?
Well, my wife and I are going to visit my daughter. Try and scooch by here in my car. I have a first grandchild in New Haven, so we're going to try to take our bike up to Haven, which entails going up northern Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware Water Gap, Tipsy. I'm not sure we'll make it all the way. We'll try.
That's good.
We're in training.
So good morning, everybody. This is the NIH Bicycle Commuter Clubs and the Washington Area Bicycle Association's Bike to Work Day. We want to thank you for arranging such wonderful weather for us, and for coming and commuting by a socially and environmentally responsible way. The Bicycle Club is here to promote commuting to and from campus to make it as safe as possible. We maintain a list of commuters to help newbies who want to begin to do this. The Office of Research Services, headed by Joe Cox down here, has been a tremendous asset to us in providing and maintaining the bicycle racks, the showers, and other facilities to help promote bicycle commuting. If there are other things that we can do, we're interested in finding those out. You can hunt for us online, NIH and you will find our website and our emails to get in touch with us. The other aspects of this morning's festivities, besides the t-shirt giveaway, the raffle, and the food, is the presentation of the Carl Henn Bicycle Advocate Award.
Again, it's just really nice to be here in front of everybody on a wonderful sunny day where everybody can be together. The nice thing about the R&W is bringing the community together. Whether you're in the sailing club or playing baseball or doing Tai Chi, this is a wonderful way to get together, and I thank you for your participation. Last year we set up an award for Carl Henn, and if you can his wife Carol is here. And we give this award every year to someone within the bike club who's really stood out. And we have like a nomination process that went out on the web, and a lot of people here participated in that. And it's really nice to see people step up and take leadership within the bike club, and it's very welcomed. And I'd like to bring up the winner of this year's award is Steve Friedman, if you can come up. We'll unveil it here. It's a token more than anything, but and that's a lot about what R&W is about. It's something very nice for your desk. And Steve has taken on a lot of roles, been involved with the bike club for over 22 years. He's been an advocate running back and forth with Montgomery County, trying to make sure that we have better bike trails, not only for NIH employees, but all employees here in Montgomery County. And he's also given a lot of leadership over the years to the bike club. And a lot of people like this become friends to our community, and I really appreciate all the time that you've given, Steve. And Carol, if you want to hand the award, we'll make a big, and this is from his wife, Carol.
Thank you.
And Carol gave a lot of lead. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And thanks, Steve, for all you do.
Thank you, Randy.
Great, thank you. Yeah. And thank you, ORS, for all your help. Joe.
The last person we would like to acknowledge and thank this morning is the organizer of today's event, and that's Jonathan Mazal down here in the blue t-shirt.
Biking to work is such a great opportunity. The NIH is so very supportive of bike to work activities, and we're very grateful for their support. ORS, R&W, and everybody that's been out here, Jonathan, Vernon, and all the bike club leadership. So just a couple of housekeeping notes. First thing is I want to thank some of our sponsors here. We have Giant, we have the Tacoma Park Co-op, we have Clean Currents. Am I missing anybody? Bicycle Place is here, so if you need a quick checkup. And WABA, of course, being the regional leadership for advocacy and biking. If you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and check in over here to my left. Get your t-shirt, you can participate in the raffle. And what I'd like to do now is introduce one of our guests of honor here. We have County Council member Hans Riemer. He's been a longtime cyclist as well. He's a cycling advocate on the County Council. He's been very supportive. He's been actually a great friend to the cycling community and instrumental in helping us get bike sharing into Montgomery County later this summer. And we're very much excited about that, looking forward to it. And so I'd like to welcome Hans up here for a few remarks. And
thank you, Stephen.
I think you're going to need this.
Hold them both. All right, can you hear me? Anybody here biking to work today for the first time? All right, I see a hand go up tentatively. All right. I'm a former bike commuter when I worked in DC, and it was a very happy time when I would be able to get up in the morning and work my way down the hill from Silver Spring. I wish I could do that into Rockville, but it's a little bit more challenging without the facilities, the showers and things like that I would need on the other end. My name is Hans Riemer. I'm one of the 4 at-large council members in Montgomery County, so I represent the whole county. And I want to thank you for helping change the way that this county lives and the patterns of transportation and lifestyle choices our residents are making. Montgomery County is a great place to live. It's a great place to work. It could certainly be a better place to bike, and that is one of our challenges. But we have to meet that challenge because we've got people moving in here every day. And if every single person wants to have a single occupancy vehicle as their main mode of transportation, no one's going to be able to move anywhere. It's going to be gridlock throughout the county. So as we grow in the future, we have to have people who are walking and biking as their more frequent choice of transportation mode. But that's a gradual shift, it's a cultural shift, it's a mindset shift, and each of you is an ambassador of that better future. You know, you're letting other people know that it's possible. But I think it is still too much of a challenge, so we're working hard. Many of us at the County Council, working with WABA, working with MoBike, working with the Bike to Work Day Club advocates to make some changes in how we design our streets and the programs that we fund. Yesterday, the County Council took a vote on our final budget. Very excited. We added $250,000 at my recommendation to the Transportation Committee for more bike lanes on the streets, more signs that say you may use the full lane if you're on a bike. The kinds of basic infrastructure that a biker needs to feel safe, to get out of the car, to get off the sidewalk, and to get using that bike. And if we don't make those kind of changes, this bike sharing system that we've brought to the county, it's not going to work. And the last thing that we want is to have a failed bike sharing system. That would be an absolute catastrophe for Montgomery County. So we're going to work hard to make sure we do that right. This is my second time here to the NIH Bike Club. I have great memories from being here 2 years ago. I think it was a little bit colder, maybe a little windy and rainy last time. But it was the first time I ever got to see Dr. Collins. That was a real treat. And to see him in his spandex, that was memorable. I don't have it. I wish I had a pair of spandex. But in any event, thanks for all your time and what you're doing to help make this county a better place to live. And thank you to Jonathan for organizing and Stephen for your work. All right, have a great day and keep on riding.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have Proteus too.
Oh, Proteus. Okay, great. So apparently I left out one very important sponsor, and that's Proteus Bikes, and they're back there under the tent. So thank you as well for sponsoring this event. We have very dedicated sponsors and all that. I did want to just go back to the award that I was the recipient of. Last year was the first year that was given out to our past president, Angela, and she was very active with the group. And I think the impetus for this award is the legacy that Carl left as an environmentalist and as a cyclist. He was committed to this cause. He was very active on the bike. He was very active at Bike to Work Day. When we still had an Executive Boulevard campus, Carl was pretty much the guy that set up the entire pit stop there. He was there early in the morning. He was there later in the morning to close down, organize some great things up there. And knowing what his background is with his environmental concerns, after his passing, when they renamed part of the Millennium Trail after Carl, I didn't really have much occasion to ride on the Millennium Trail at all. But now that we've moved to Shady Grove, I actually ride about 3 miles on the trail, and I can't tell you the goosebumps I get when I pass each sign that says the Carl Henn Millennium Trail. I think it's a great testament to his legacy. I think it's a great testament to the County Council and Parks and Planning for recognizing his contributions. And again, we're really happy that you're out here, and thank you for continuing to support us.